give you Luke.
I'd like to start off by thanking the Eastern Hills Exchange Club for choosing me and for holding this conference.
No program.
So it was mentioned that the real reason I was picked was because of the activities, and that's kind of what I pride myself in. I always put myself 100% into whatever activity I'm doing to make sure that I get the most out of it. And I'm involved in everything from cross country and track to the drama club. I've been in all the musicals our school's put on. I'm also president of the student body. I've been president of our class for the past 2 years. I'm in National Honor Society, and I'm just about in every single club I can be in that I can fit into my schedule. And I really hope that everything that I'm learning from all these extracurriculars will transfer over to next year. I've already been accepted to Miami University in Oxford, but hopefully if all goes as planned, in April I'll be receiving an acceptance letter from the College of William & Mary, where I plan on studying international relations. And I hope to use this to help pursue a career either in a diplomacy-related field or with a position with a nonprofit organization.
Well, talk about track or cross country. What's your best time?
Cross country, my best mile time is 5 flat, and my best 5K is a 17:20. So I've qualified for regionals the past 3 years, and this past year I was named runner of the conference.
So it's a grueling sport. Are you going to continue it after high school? Some sort of running marathon, mini marathon, something like that?
I'm planning on running a marathon in June as of right now. Unfortunately, with only applying to D1 schools, I'm not quite fast enough to run for the actual teams. But the schools I did apply to all have like club teams that I can run for. So.
I have a question for you. When you're class president, what type of responsibility do you have, and what do you usually do for that?
Well, I am in charge of making sure that funds are raised for the class, and then that funds are spent appropriately. And then as student body president, I'm in charge of holding the events for the student body. So this year, I've held the food drive, and I've made sure that 2 dances were thrown, and we also held the clothing drive.
You have an ACT score of 28 and a super score of 29. What's a super score?
The super score is where they take all of your best scores from all the times you've taken it, and then average that compared to the composite score, which is your best time you've taken it once. So it's your best score from all the times you one test.
So each part you pull out the best in that.
Yeah, and that would be your super score.
That's nice.
Some schools will allow that, some don't, but that's something that's kind of, because, probably when you were in school, you took it once and that was your score, but kids now take it multiple times. And if they have a higher math or English on, a different one, they can get all the best scores. That's what everybody calls a super score.
Do they still take the SAT?
Actually, it is offered, but traditionally Ohio is not an SAT state. If you go to Indiana, every kid takes the SAT. And if you come to Ohio, the focus is on the ACT. Why is that? I don't know. It's just kind of tradition. Probably ACT got their foot in here first, and I don't know. It's just the way it is. But we have a few students who take the SAT. There's a difference in the test. The SAT is more of an intelligence test, where the ACT is more of an achievement test. So I usually recommend they take the ACT because it shows that they've learned something in school. You can do well on an SAT and not be a great student. Just have the natural ability to figure stuff out. But the ACT, you have to have learned something through your formal education to really do well on that. So
I can be a negative example of that.
Luke, what attracts you to international studies?
I've always been really interested in traveling, as well as kind of the idea of people living differently than how we live. I've always been interested in like the different cultures
Is the Peace Corps possibly in your future?
I actually was planning on going into the Peace Corps after I graduate for undergrad.
Any particular region of the world most appealing to you?
I feel like I would really enjoy Western Africa. I'm not quite sure why, but it's always been kind of an area that I'd be interested in.
Yeah. Peter's asking that because he was a Peace Corps volunteer and I was a Peace Corps volunteer. He was in Latin America and I was in West Africa.
There you go.
Yeah, given your interest in international relations and not-for-profits, are you familiar with the work of the Cincinnati World Affairs Council?
Not really.
Well, we are a little bit. They spoke a year ago to the returned Peace Corps volunteers, and 9 months ago they came here to speak to this club. My wife and I joined them. I have a bone to pick with them. I'm not necessarily endorsing them because they have kind of dropped us. Haven't heard a word from them. No emails, no solicitations for more funding, nothing. And I've told them that, and I still don't hear from them. Now, I can pick and choose what we want to attend, but I'd like to be informed. I wouldn't mind getting an email every 2 weeks to know what they're doing, and they are doing a lot according to them. Problem is they're not telling me what they're doing. They're giving me the opportunity to volunteer or get involved. But you're leaving anyways. There are organizations like that, I'm sure, in Williamsburg and in Miami or Oxford, Ohio. And just urge you to get involved outside the campus. Look for returned Peace Corps volunteers. Our local organization, CARV, Cincinnati area return volunteers, we have about 200 members, and I would say 20 to 30 are kind of active. We meet every 2 months. So get involved in anywhere you happen to be, because Peace Corps volunteers are a good resource and good contacts and good members of your network of professionals and others who have been there and done that.
And they can give you advice outside of New Richmond.
Yeah.
What foreign languages do you?
I've studied Spanish for 4 years, but being interested in West Africa, I feel like in college I should focus more on French. I haven't taken a Spanish class in a year, unfortunately, because we don't offer anything above 4 years of Spanish. So I'm not particularly up with it, kind of rusty.
What attracts you to William and Mary?
It's one of the best, well, the 6th best public school in the country. It'd probably be one of the best international relations programs in the country. And with its proximity to DC, I feel like it would be a real benefit for me to make connections. And they have a campus in DC as well.
How big? What's the population there? It's pretty small.
I think the undergrad population is around 6,000.
It's a beautiful campus. You've been there?
I plan on visiting there over spring break. I've been there yet.
You could get a part-time job as a historical reenactor in Williamsburg. It beats flipping burgers.
See, that's why I've been to Williamsburg and I thought it was William and Mary right there.
Yeah. They're right next. They kind of fit together, the same architecture.
We did that. We danced with the people, the reenactors. and all that.
That's what I mean. It's a great.
I've been
You've got a background in drama too, don't you? You're theatrical, so geez, what a perfect. Even if it's minimum wage, you probably have a lot of fun playing any historical character, just a man on the street.
What schools did you apply to other than Miami and William and Mary?
I also applied to American University in Washington, D.C., and then I applied to Elon University in Elon, North Carolina.
You visit any of them?
I've been to Miami, but I plan on this spring break, I'm going to make a road trip out and visit the others.
My ignorance, I'm not familiar with Elon.
It's a little town.
Yeah, it's about the same size as William and Mary, but the reason I chose Elon was, as of right now, it is ranked as the best travel abroad program in the country. And we also have a graduate from New Richmond who went to Elon, and she is now head of press relations, I think, for the Afghan embassy. So I've been talking to her, and she's been really helping me through that, helping me to apply.
And the student he's talking about actually was on in a internship, I believe, with Coke, but she was in Egypt when all the things were going down there. Or actually, she had just left, right when it got real kind of ugly there for a while. But she was in contact with a lot of people she knew over there. So, and yeah, she went to Elon. They have a very good international relations program. And again, yeah, she has a great job in Washington, D.C. right now. They're doing exactly what she wanted to do. So.
Elon has a pretty campus, it's just a very small.
Right.
Yeah. American University is right in DC. They have a nice campus there too, it's sort of like a state.
Yeah.
It's more incorporated into DC though, so.
Yeah.
What did you think of Buckeye Boys State, and would you do it again?
I actually had a really good time at Buckeye Boys State. I was in the House of Representatives, and so basically I got to argue with people the entire time. It was really fun. I had a great time.
Did you accomplish anything?
Yeah, I would say that, I mean, I definitely learned a lot, not only about the political system within Ohio, but I also feel like it was a good kind of learning opportunity outside of that, because you're just being thrust into this environment where you don't really know anyone, and all of a sudden there are 1,000 new people, and you have to meet as many people as quickly as you can and make friends and talk to everyone. It was a really good experience, yeah.
I was being sarcastic,
Yeah.
comparing it to
Yeah.
our current house.
So you would do it again?
Yeah, I would do it again.
Sounds like.
Well, who was the most important teacher in your high school career, and what kind of influence did that person have on you?
I'd say probably within my high school career, it would be my AP Geography teacher from last year, Mr. Harris. He's kind of assigned sort of a boring subject to most people, because AP Geography or just learning about places, and it's just ground. It's just where people live or whatever. But he always made class really fun, and he made it to where we wanted to go to class and we wanted to learn. And he kind of explored the idea of the new cultures and the new ways that people live, and it kind of solidified my idea that this is what I want to go into and this is what I want to study.
Who's your favorite guidance counselor? He only has one.
That's the cultures off tonight.
You were in the musicals, are you a dancer or a singer or both?
I'm more of a singer. I can dance if I have to. But yeah, usually I'm put into the positions I am because I can sing relatively well. So. And I'm not terrible at acting. So.
You sing. Tenor, baritone,
I'm the first tenor.
and drama puts you in a position of a lot of contact with the opposite sex, but I haven't heard of any girls involved. So, how is your love life?
Kind of lacking.
Well, with your mother here, I wouldn't expect any other.
Well, there's always college, so good luck.
Better to wait till college, otherwise you have all that long distance stuff. I see you're on the newspaper staff too, and what do you do there?
Each month we have to write 2 kind of featured stories, and then I also have to write a column and then a review of like a movie or a book or something that I've done in the past month. I mean, it can be kind of strenuous because there's so many deadlines with it, and we have to do so much, so it's constantly you have to be writing and thinking of new ideas.